Just getting everything set up here for everybody. I hope you're all having a great day so far. I know I am. It's November, but feels like summertime up here in the north. I'm in Toronto right now, but I heard New York is similar as well. So definitely a nice day so far. I hope you guys are doing well as well. Cool. I'm just going to give a few seconds for everybody to be able to join in. I know sometimes it takes a second for people to set up their accounts and whatnot. If you guys want to chat, by the way, at any point in time throughout, if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box. All right, I'll be reading your messages throughout the entire presentation. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so let's kick it off. All right, so welcome to class today on getting started with algo trading. This is our agenda for today. This is what we're going to be covering. First of all, I want to get to know you guys a little bit, get to know who's on the call. I have some questions for you guys. We'll do a quick introduction to Lumi Wealth and kind of what we do and myself. We'll talk about algorithmic trading in general. We'll talk about the different types of trading algorithms that we have out there. And then we will cover a demo of some of our trading bots, right? It's pre-recorded because obviously markets are closed right now for stocks. But I will play you a recording that we had of a little while ago, and you can kind of see some examples of our bots, right? And then we'll talk about the end of it, our full course. If you guys are interested in continuing learning, we do have an entire large course that you can take on this topic as well. All right. Okay, so first and foremost, so who is on this call? If you guys can type into the chat here, I'll also put this into the chat window. If you guys can answer these questions for me, please. You can just write them out into the chat window. And while you guys are typing that out, I'll let you know my answers to these questions. So my occupation, I'm the CEO of Lumi Wealth. I've spent quite a bit of my life managing software teams, specifically in the finance space. That's kind of what I've been doing most of my life. And now my job is to run this company, Lumi Wealth, and really basically make you guys happy, right? That's really what my job is at the end of the day. You guys and our employees, right? Do I know how to program or code? Yes, I do. I've been coding for over 20 years. Hopefully it doesn't date me too much. I learned how to code when I was very young. I was like maybe 12 years old or something when I learned how to code. And it's been over 20 years now, so that gives you a bit of an idea of my age. But it's been quite a while for me. And then how much expensive experience do you have? I started around 2006, so almost 20 years of investing as well. I've seen a lot of ups and downs. You kind of learn a few things when you go through a few cycles. Cool, so those are my answers. I'm going to read off some of the ones that you guys wrote in here. So Habib says, I'm a contractor / welder. Very cool, welcome. We actually do tend to have quite a few people that come from that space as well in our classes. So you'll definitely feel right at home in our classes. Cool, and I'll let you guys write out the rest of those. I know it might take a little bit of time to type that stuff out, but I'll let you guys keep writing while we continue. And when you guys write your answers in, I will answer that as well, or I'll read it off and comment on that as well. So quick introduction. Okay, so we got a couple here actually. This is great. So we got Larry, chemical technician. No, I don't, but want to learn. Very cool. I've been trading since 2017. Perfect. So you've actually gone through a couple of pretty crazy cycles in trading. That's great. And if you want to learn how to code, that's perfect. You're in exactly the right spot. I think this is a great way to learn how to code. Not only can you make money with it, but it's also a great way to learn all this stuff because it is definitely a fun thing to do. Carlos says, my name is Carlos Gonzalez. Welcome, Carlos. It's great. One of my best friends' name is Carlos, so it's nice. Dwight says, inventory control / don't know how to program. Okay. And investing for 4 years now. Okay, great. Perfect. So it sounds like you're actually a great candidate. So in our courses, you don't need to know how to code before you come in. We will teach you how to code throughout the class. That being said, if you know how to code, you'll probably really shine and knock the lights out of the roof. But it is definitely not a requirement to know how to code when you join our classes. We will teach you from scratch, all right? Specifically, Python is the coding language that we use. Right? Cool. Okay, and I'll let you guys keep writing that. As you guys write out your answers, I'll keep reading them off. All right, so let's talk about a little introduction here. So first of all, who am I? My name is Robert. I have been coding, like I said, for over 20 years. I started my first software company when I was like 15 years old. Ended up making so much money that my parents were kind of shocked at the time. Got me needlessly, or needless to say, that I got very interested in both coding and in business after doing that. So I went to business school. I did my master's in finance right afterwards. That was around the 2008 crash. So learned a lot going through that phase. After that, went to go start another business. We sold that one for a nice chunk of change. Can't talk about exactly how much legally, but enough to make me quite happy and to take some time off. I went to go travel the world for a couple of months and ended up really falling in love with New York. In New York City, I ended up working at a few different companies, one of them being Greystone, which is a mortgage lender. When I was there, they're doing around $9 billion a year in mortgages. It was my job to basically build out their entire tech team, really, because they didn't have a tech team at all. So we built out a bunch of stuff for them. Really made it a lot easier to get mortgages, and we used AI to do mortgage applications, all that kind of stuff. I think to date, that program that we built has probably done maybe $40–50 billion in loans. So that's pretty cool to have built something like that. It was my job to basically put together a team and manage everyone. And then after that, I went to go work at a company called Voyager. You guys may have heard of them recently, not for very good reasons, because they went bankrupt recently, which kind of sucks. But I did help start that company from scratch a while back. I think somewhere around 2016, 2017, I joined Voyager, employee number 4. There was really nothing there. It was just, us in a WeWork. I built like the first version of the iPhone app. Fast forward a couple of years, that company ended up being from 4 people to being worth almost $3 billion. Really made me quite a bit of money on my stock options. I was very happy with that one. Right up until the point that they crashed. Although I wasn't there at that point in time. Maybe if I was there, maybe I could have helped avoid some of those situations. But that's my history. Now, of course, working on Lumi Wealth. Right, I'm a CEO of Lumi Wealth. We started this company about 3 years ago. Our mission is to help people get better investment returns, specifically average everyday people. Right. I worked on Wall Street. I really saw the difference between the types of investments that rich people can get versus the average everyday person. I really didn't like that. And I'd really like to bridge that gap and get the types of investments and the types of smarts that the billionaire types are using and bring those to retail investors. I believe that not only can we make average everyday people a lot wealthier, but I think helping average everyday people manage their money better will also help our entire economy and help everyone do a lot better off. So really strong believer in that. Lumi Wealth, obviously we have a lot of courses that teach along those lines. We teach people how to trade in our Trading as a Business or Bulletproof Trading class. We teach people how to build trading algorithms in this class, for crypto, for options as well. We teach machine learning for that. We teach how to build things on blockchain. So a lot of education around that space. And then we're also working on our own technology. Within maybe the next 2 or 3 months, you'll be able to see all of our algorithms that we've built up on a website. You'll be able to actually watch them trade. So you don't have to believe me that they're doing well. You could literally just watch them minute by minute, and you could be the judge, and you could see some of them doing nice, shooting up and making quite a bit of money. So you'll be able to see that on a minute by minute basis and be able to invest in them eventually as well. So we're working on that too. So we're working on technology as well. All right, so that's myself. That's Lumi Wealth. Let me read off a little bit more about you guys here. So Vince wrote in here, says, I have a little background in Python. I have a good background in investments, 20+ years, and I'm in SaaS sales. That's awesome. Vince, you sound like a great candidate for this class. Having a little bit of Python experience will definitely help you, I think, be like a rock star in this space. And the fact that you have a lot of investment experience, I love to see what kind of ideas you come up with and what we can actually put into place. So I think I love working with people like you because we ended up building really, really profitable algorithms. So welcome, Vince. That's great. And hopefully we get a chance to work together. And then Habib says was learning some coding on Code Red course, very little. Okay, so a little bit of coding experience. That sounds great. Again, you guys don't need to know how to code when you come into this class. We will teach you from scratch. It is very beginner friendly. If you do have that background in Python, though, it really does help you accelerate that process. Right, so that's great. Cool. Awesome. So welcome, guys. Okay, so we've covered who I am. We've covered Lumi Wealth. We also have a YouTube channel. If you guys want to check this out, I'll share the link with you guys inside the chat. I would suggest that you guys join this channel, subscribe, hit the bell button, because we do release a lot of free stuff on here. All of our free classes are through here. We put up demos of some of our different strategies. You can actually watch them here. We have interviews with different professionals in the investment industry. So everything from real estate, which is Tony Ning and Cliff Frazier. These guys collectively manage like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate. John Ewing, who's something like a Warren Buffett in Canada, manages something probably around $700 million, $800 million now. At the time when I spoke to him, it was around $600 million. We have a bunch of other stuff in here. We also have our testimonials from our past students, if you're interested. So, you could see, not from my words, but from our students' words, what they thought about the classes and that sort of thing. I think that says a lot, hearing from past students. A lot of these guys have built some great algorithms. I can tell you Joel and Sintayan have really built some great stuff. I can tell you Agim, he actually has started his own business around this as well, giving trading recommendations. So definitely a lot of really cool stuff in here for you guys to check out. All right, so don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button there too. All right, so it's our YouTube channel. We also have a Discord channel. And for those of you that don't know what Discord is, it's basically this here. It is like a chat type thing, a Slack, right? And basically, we have our own server called Lumi Wealth that you can join. That's the link that I gave you to Lumi Wealth. And you can meet, first of all, some of our past students. You can meet people that are in our classes currently. So you can talk to them about, what do you think about the class, that sort of thing. If you want to ask questions, or, if you just want to get to know other people that are doing the same thing, right? If you want to get to know other people that are deep into investing, that, are making their own blockchain projects, that are building their own trading algorithms, this is the place to be. Our channels are very active. So if you join in, you could definitely start a conversation with quite a few different people in here, including a lot of our past students in here, if you want to ask questions there. All right. So I strongly suggest that you guys join the Discord channel as well and be part of our community. Okay, and again, as I mentioned earlier, especially for those of you that joined a little later, please ask questions throughout this presentation. Don't feel like you have to wait until the end. There will be a question period at the end, but don't feel like you have to wait until then. It's a lot more interesting when this presentation is two ways. Just like our main classes, you guys will have microphones on and whatnot, and you could actually have a two-way conversation. I think people learn a lot better that way, and it's more interactive and more interesting for both you guys and myself too. Cool. So don't hesitate to ask questions until the end. Right. Okay, so let's start talking about algo trading. Right. So what is it and why should you care? Right. So algorithmic trading is basically using software to analyze data and automatically place trades, right? There are some people that choose not to have the algorithm automatically place the trades for them. You can have mechanisms where it suggests things and you just say yes or no, right? That's definitely something that's possible. But most people, when they build trading algorithms, they want the robot to automatically buy and sell for them, right? So we'll talk about a lot of different kinds of trading algorithms out there. I think most people, when they approach this, they think day trading and that's it. There's actually a lot more to it than that. There's quite a few different types of algorithms that are out there. Pretty much anything that a hedge fund can do at this point can be done by a bot. Other than that, like really deep analysis stuff, like Warren Buffett type analysis, that's still at this point in time difficult for an algorithm to do. Although with the advent of AI and how quickly it's growing, I think in a couple of years we'll probably out Warren Buffett using this technology as well. But yeah, so that's basically what a trading algorithm is. It's using software. We analyze a bunch of data, and will place trades based on that data. Buys, sells, options, crypto, Forex, you name it. We're in a bunch of different markets, right? So like I said, it can provide trade alerts or it could actually execute the trades, right? So a lot of people ask me, they're like, well, if algo trading is so profitable, then why doesn't everyone do it? The answer to that question is they are doing it, right? It's something like 95% of the market is algorithms. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but if you're trading manually, you're in Robinhood and placing trades, you're the minority by far. You're up against a bunch of trading algorithms that are trying to make money off of you, right? So you're actually at a major disadvantage when you're trading manually without the aid of any kind of technology. You're definitely at a disadvantage in that situation, right? And let me give you some examples of a few different hedge funds or investment funds that are using this kind of technology. All right, so one example is a company called Renaissance Technologies. Okay, this is probably one of the biggest hedge funds in the world, if not the second biggest. It is a company run by a guy named Jim Simmons. Last time I checked, they're managing 110 billion in assets. That for stocks, that is a very large fund. Like I said, probably one of the biggest in the world, if not number one, then number two or three. These guys have performed very well over the life of the fund. Basically, the story goes, a guy named Jim Simmons, he used to be a math teacher. He wanted to start a hedge fund where he uses computers to trade automatically for him. This was back in the 80s, I believe, when computers are like a brand new thing, and it was really hard to get them to do anything at that point in time. But they went off and they decided to do that. It took them a while for them to figure it out because again, technology was very new back then. They worked on this for maybe a year or 2 years. After, I think, 2 years into their hedge fund, they figured out a few things that made them quite a bit of money, and really start to make a killing. These guys are making so much money at some point in time. There's actually a really good book here on them. I'm going to put this into chat. There's a book on Jim Simmons and kind of what he pulled off. It's called The Man Who Solved the Market. Because really that's what he did. He built this hedge fund that was just at one point in time, and actually still, like, basically just minting money. Like, these guys might as well have a printing press in their house. The story goes, they started this thing. They started to get investors because they're doing so well. A lot of people ask me, if you're investing this money, how do you get really, really rich? Well, the way that you get really rich is you get investors, right? If you're investing your own, 10K, 20K, 50K, you'll make some money. But if you're investing other people's money, like a couple million, you'll get paid a heck of a lot more. And that's what these guys started doing, to the point that they made so much money. They're buying houses. They're forgetting those houses even existed. Like one person in the book got a message saying, your house is in illegal land or something like that. And he's like, I have a house there. I forgot it even existed. It's like a $10 million house they forgot even existed. These guys really, really got extremely rich. Jim Simmons is actually one of the richest people on earth. You could see him on the Forbes list as well. So about their fund, right? They've done about 39% average annual return. That is uncorrelated with the stock market. So meaning 2008 stock market falls 50%. They're still making 40% average, right? I think in the entire existence of their fund, I think they only lost money in one quarter, from what I understand. And that was a very, very small loss. So 40% average annual return, but that's average, right? So meaning, when we have bear markets, like, for example, this past year, they've been doing really well, as far as I heard. Last year, they killed it. They did like 150% last year, just absolutely killing it in terms of making money. And for those of you that don't know how extreme a 39% return is, let's talk about the math behind this, right? So if you were investing in the stock market, which usually does around 10%, you took $1,000 and you put it in for 30 years, right? It's like your retirement money. After 30 years, that $1,000 will have turned into about 17 grand, right? That's at 10%. Now, if you instead got 39%, like what these guys are making, it's not 4 times more. You're not going to get 17,000 times 4. You're actually going to get a heck of a lot more than that. So you're getting 4 times more every year, and it compounds over time. So that same $1,000, instead of being 17,000, would be 19 million, right? So think about that. That's the difference between you retiring with some money versus you retiring early with a yacht, and maybe with a yacht that can have a yacht inside of it, like that kind of thing. It's absolutely extraordinary how much money these guys are making. Extremely successful hedge fund, and made the people in it fabulously rich, right? But they're not the only ones, right? They're not the only hedge fund that does this sort of thing. There's a lot of others that actually, most hedge funds these days actually have some form of algorithmic trading or data science that they use. Pretty much every single one of them at this point. But some of the ones that are more technologically savvy are ones like Two Sigma. These guys, last time I checked, managed about 60 billion in assets. It's probably quite a bit more than that now, actually, because it was like 3 years ago. Two Sigma does very well. These guys consistently beat the market and beat the market without taking crazy risks. Citadel is another one. They have a hedge fund that does incredibly well. They also have an entire other arm to them where they're actually the guys that back Robinhood. So if you're buying from Robinhood, their algorithms are the ones that are selling you the stock. So I don't know if you guys are aware of that. But Ken Griffin, the guy that runs the firm, one of the richest people on earth. I think recently I heard this story that he actually bought the most expensive real estate ever sold in America. It was something like $250 million for an apartment in Manhattan. So gives you an idea of how much money these guys are making. It's crazy. Bridgewater's another company that relies heavily on data. And I'll even show you a quote from Ray Dalio, how he's really big into algorithms. If you ever read Ray Dalio, he has a lot of really good books out. He's easily one of the best hedge fund managers of all time. He's a really big fan of turning things into like rules, like algorithms. And there's actually a tweet that I'm going to show you by him in a little bit. Also very, very wealthy. I think last time I checked, he's probably worth like $5 or $10 billion, right? We're seeing a pattern here, right? D.E. Shaw is another really good company that has done very well. The same thing, they build trading algorithms. They use a lot of data they download a lot of data, analyze it, and trade based off of that data. And there's actually a really interesting story behind them. There's a famous person that used to work here. The story goes, he's actually the guy that owns this company right here, Mr. Amazon himself. He used to work at D.E. Shaw back in the day. And the story basically goes, he worked there. It was his first job in finance. That's what he wanted to get into. That's what he studied in school or something like that. But basically, while he was at D.E. Shaw, they're paying him very well. But he's like, well, he wanted to start his own company. And based on the data that he saw at D.E. Shaw, because they had access to all this data, he saw the internet was growing incredibly fast. It was something like 5,000% a year. And he's like, this internet thing sounds like it's going to do really well. So he went home, came up with the idea for a bookstore on the internet. And wow, how much bigger it's gotten since then. Quit D.E. Shaw. His boss tried to get him to stay, but he probably would have gotten very rich off D.E. Shaw. He stayed there, but obviously started Amazon and got even wealthier and became one of the world's richest men at one point in time, right? So in other words, if you're studying this stuff, if you're studying algorithmic trading, you're in some very good company. Some of the richest people on earth either run investment funds like that or used to work at funds like that. Very, very lucrative field, to say the least. Right? Cool. Okay, so that's algorithmic trading. Here's that tweet that I promised you by Ray Dalio. So this is one that he posted last month, or about a month ago, right? So basically, he's talking about, convert your principles into algorithms and have computer make decisions alongside you. This is his principle of the day. You can actually find this on his Twitter if you're interested. One of the richest men in the world, one of the best hedge fund managers in the world, very strongly talking about algorithms. He goes on to talk about how basically you want to put decisions into place like an algorithm, right? Where actually, I'll read it off. He says, if you can do that, you'll take the power of decision making to a whole other level, right? In many cases, you'll be able to test how that principle would have worked in the past in various situations that help you refine it. And in all cases, it will allow you to compound your understanding to a degree that would otherwise be impossible, which is very true. He's talking about back testing there. It's a technique that we show you in our class on how you can basically use past data, and you can simulate trades with that past data to see how your algorithm would have done in the past. So he's talking about back testing. He's very right how we can actually build these into back tests and see how things would have done in the past. It's really, really helpful and can really strongly inform your future decisions. It will also take emotion out of the equation. Algorithms work just like words in describing what you would like to have done, but they are written in a language that the computer can understand. If you don't know how to speak this language, you should either learn it or have someone close to you who can translate it for you. Your children and their peers must learn to speak this language because it will soon be as important or more important than any other language. Definitely agree with him on that. Python, I could tell you, actually, sometimes I think I can code better than I can write in words, but definitely agree. Very, very useful thing to know. It's not just coming from me, it's coming from one of the richest men on earth. He also continues, he says, by developing a partnership with your computer alter ego in which you teach each other and each do what you do best, you will be more powerful than if you went about your decision making alone. The computer will also be your link to great collective decision making, which is far more powerful than individual decision making and will almost certainly advance the evolution of our species. Right? Big words there from Ray Dalio. You could tell what his thoughts are on algo trading in general. And by the way, recommend that you guys follow him on Twitter. Definitely a really good person to follow. And listen to his YouTube videos. He has some very good things to say. Cool. So that's algorithmic trading. Let's talk about some different trading algorithms, right? Because I feel like there's a misconception around this. Whenever people ask me about trading algorithms, they all think the same thing. Everyone's thinking you're just doing day trading and that's not going to work because, you trade too much and you lose money. First of all, in day trading, there are ways to make money. I've seen people do it. It is challenging, but there are many ways that you could actually accomplish that. And we can cover a lot of that in our class. Specifically for day trading, some of the techniques I've seen work, technical analysis. There's a lot of different things you could do, Elliott wave theory, all that type of stuff. Some things are actually fairly straightforward, work pretty well, especially in the crypto markets. Technical analysis seems to be quite powerful, probably because a lot of people use technical analysis to make their decisions. So it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. But then there's also machine learning or using artificial intelligence to place your trades. I've seen people make quite a bit of money doing this kind of stuff. You could use AI to analyze pricing data. You could use AI to analyze the news. There's a lot of really interesting things you could do with it for day trading, right? So that's kind of one type of algorithm, but there's a lot more out there as well, right? So for example, event-based algorithms, right? We can build algorithms that listen to the news. So for example, if something comes out, something happened to a CEO of a company, for example, got into a car accident or something, hopefully not, right? But, you can automatically short that stock, for example, right? Or, maybe it just came out that some pharmaceutical company, they just got approved, for their medication to be released, right? That could be very, very good for a biotech stock. And you can have an algorithm that automatically listens for that and trades it as soon as that news comes out, right? You could do things like follow influencers, right? Like Donald Trump or Elon Musk, have a lot of Twitter followers, a lot of people listening to their words. Whether you agree with them or not, they tend to move markets, right? So if Elon Musk is tweeting about Dogecoin, that sucker's going up. You know what I mean? So you could actually be listening to like their Twitter accounts and things like that and automatically buying things as soon as they mention it. And you can make quite a bit of money doing that. I can actually tell you one of our past students, I spoke to him recently about this. He was saying he's making something like 400 or 500% a year doing this type of event-based algorithm, right? So it can be quite profitable if set up correctly. There's also macro strategies. This is kind of like what Ray Dalio does. You could look at different countries across the world, what their inflation's like, what their, how all their numbers come out, and you can kind of do macro-based investing that way, right? pulling in all that data and investing based off of, kind of the way that things normally unfold, right? You do fundamental analysis, right, where you can download financial data about stocks and basically invest in, value stocks or growth stocks, right? You could do all that type of stuff, especially if you have some sort of leg up in an industry. You can build some really cool stuff there. There's arbitrage bots. These are a bit challenging to make, but can be very, very profitable. In some ways, arbitrage is almost like free money. It's like risk-free profits. So one example of an arbitrage bot would be if you're looking at, and this is it's harder to do now with Bitcoin, but this used to be the case a couple of years ago, where Bitcoin would be trading at a different price on a different exchange. So Binance might be trading it at 20,000 and Coinbase might be trading at 21,000. Well, what you could do is buy it at Binance and sell it at Coinbase. You're making $1,000 profit each time around. And you have a machine, you could do that very, very quickly and make $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, and keep building your wealth really quickly that way. So arbitrage can be very, very profitable. It's challenging to build, but if you can figure out an arbitrage bot, please let me know, because we can get some very good investments into that. Definitely an extremely lucrative thing to do, right? And this isn't the entire list. There's a lot more they can do, right? Pretty much anything that a human fund manager can do at this point, an algorithm can do, right? Everything from value investing to buying growth stocks, doing all that kind of stuff. Pretty much everything that a person can do at this point, an algorithm can do, and it will do it faster and cheaper. So you don't have to pay this manager to do all this stuff for you, right? The only thing that really algorithms cannot do at this point in time is do like the really advanced analysis like a Warren Buffett would, or the activist investing like what's it called? Greenlight Capital, I believe is what they do. Those are kind of hard things to do for algorithms as of right now. Although, again, how the pace that AI is going at right now, it wouldn't surprise me if we could build algorithms that beat Warren Buffett at some point soon in the future. And by soon, I mean 2-3 years from now. I think that is a very real possibility. So yes, those are kind of the different types of trading algorithms, just so you know some of the stuff that's out there, right? And so you don't fall into that trap of thinking that the only type of algorithm that exists is day trading, right? Cool. Okay. Vince says, work call, you got me. I'm signing up. Awesome. Sounds great, Vince. That'll be great to see you in this class. Perfect. All right. So let me play a demo for you guys. So again, this is recorded a couple months ago, just because the market was open and, I can't show you demos right now when the market's closed. So here's a live demo, and you guys can see kind of what this is like, right? Let me play this for you, and let me know if you guys can hear it, just to make sure that my sound's working properly. Let me know if you can hear when I play this video. Right? Cool. Okay, so let's get into the demo. Right. So this is I'm going to show you a couple different trading strategies that we show you first of all in the courses, and that you can employ yourself. It's pretty easy for you to get these up and running. I've had people that have never coded a day in their lives and have these strategies running within just a few weeks. So even if you don't know how to code, don't feel like you have to shy away from this, whatever. I'm going to be showing you a bunch of code here, but really it's not that difficult to learn. We've been able to teach a lot of people that have never coded before in their lives, right? Okay, so here, let's show you a demo of some of our different trading strategies. Okay. So there's a couple I want to show you today. We have some new ones, like I was saying. Okay. So I want to show you, first of all, our fast trading strategy, just because a lot of people, whenever they think algo trading, they want to be able to trade really quickly, get in and out of things very fast, and analyze a lot of things. So what I'm doing here is I'm running this fast trading strategy. You see here, we go into our broker. It was nothing, and now it bought a whole bunch of stuff automatically by itself. Okay. And let me describe to you essentially what this strategy is doing. Okay. Here is the code. The code is fairly straightforward. It's not that long, right? So it looks like 160 lines of code, but a lot of it is boilerplate stuff, and a lot of it is like kind of just tracking things and whatnot. It's very easy for you guys to get something like this up and running. Essentially, what it does is it looks at these symbols here, right?
SPY, gold, TLT, Microsoft, Tesla, etc. Right? We're looking at all those symbols and basically saying which one has done the best over the past 1 minute, right? And whichever one did the best, has had a momentum, the best momentum, it keeps the top four, okay? And it'll keep swapping them out. So if we watch this here, we see the top four we have right now is TLT, XPXS, XPXL, and MCHI. Those are best over 1 minute. You see that just swapped. We just bought some gold. So it sold TLT and bought gold. Okay? And if we leave this running, you'll see basically you'll do this all day long, right? You don't have to be in front of your computer. You could have this thing running in the cloud. You could have this thing running off your computer. And it'll just keep trading for you all day long, right? Now, this is a strategy that, follows momentum, but you could just as easily do a lot of other things with this, right? You could use technical analysis for this, right? I know a lot of people like looking at charts and support resistance, that sort of thing. You could use that, right? You could use things like RSI or pivot points or VWAP, right? You could use all those types of things to influence which stocks you want to own and have like we have our top 10 stocks, and based on our criteria, we keep the top four, and you can trade throughout the day doing that sort of thing. So this is very flexible. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this. And this is just a demo to kind of show you, this fast trading, how it moves in and out. If we give it another minute, it should actually flip things around. We'll give it, so it executes once every minute. If we give it a little bit more time, it'll swap things out. Oh, there you go. Okay, I just did that. So it sold the gold. Remember, you guys saw the gold. It sold that, and it sold our MCHI. So we sold two of those things, and it bought SPY and it bought Microsoft, right? And that's because those have been the ones that are doing the best over the past minute, and just kind of hold on to them, right? It's just a simple momentum strategy. But like I said, there's a lot of other things that you can convert this into. Use any kind of technical analysis you want or any kind of criteria that you want to do this sort of trading, right? This is something I'll be like throughout the day, intraday, quickly getting in and out of things, right? All right, okay, so that's our fast trading strategy. Let's show you our technical analysis strategy, right? Because this one is, we could basically take what we did in the last one, okay? And we can do the same thing, or we could use essentially, what we did in the last one. We could apply this sort of stuff for technical analysis type of stuff, right? So what this one does is it's sorry, there's a question here on chat. I want to do trading. Day trading will help me with that. Yes, absolutely, will help you with day trading. Yeah. So the last strategy that I just showed you, the fast trading, is very well suited for day trading, right? So what you would do is you would take something like that and combine it with maybe a technical. It depends on how you trade, right? If you trade, support resistance, if you trade using VWAP, if you trade using some sort of technical analysis, RSIs or Bollinger Bands or whatever, we could implement all that kind of stuff, right? So here is a technical analysis strategy. This one trades a little slower, but you can mix the two together, right? You can make it so that the last one that we had takes the top four stocks, right? This one, what it does is it trades based off of RSI, right? So it looks at the RSI of SPY, right? And if RSI falls below 33, okay, so it's looking at the RSI for SPY, and it has two stocks that it trades, okay? It has SPY and TLT, okay? It has the two of them, okay? And they're normally 60-40, which is kind of like what investment advisors recommend, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, right? But when the RSI gets too high on SPY, which means kind of like it's overbought, right, is what we call it with RSI terms. When it's overbought, then we say, okay, let's get out of SPY and only buy TLT. So we sell our SPY, go 100% to TLT. And then the opposite situation, when SPY falls too much and the RSI is low, then we will sell all of our TLT and only buy SPY, right? So it's changing weightings in our stocks based off of this criteria of a technical analysis, right? Technical indicator, okay? So if we see it trading right now, you'll see it bought 60-40 SPY, so 60% of money of 50,000 is put into SPY automatically, right? And TLT, the other 20,000, right? The other 40%. Okay? If this is a time when SPY was too high, it would automatically sell SPY and get into TLT. Or if the opposite happened, if SPY fell a lot, it will do the flip as well. You could do this much faster. You could do this with many stocks throughout the day. And you can use a lot of other types of technical analysis as well. So we use this library, right? You could use Bollinger Bands, right? You could use, some of these things I don't even know what they are. Average true range, you could use that. Bollinger Bands, you could use moving averages, crossing, use MACD, all sorts of different things that you could use to trade with. RSI, stochastic RSI, right? Lots and lots of different things that you could use to trade. And you can trade throughout the day, buying and selling things automatically based on your criteria, right? You don't have to be at your computer. You don't have to be paying attention to it. You can set up stop losses automatically, all that kind of stuff. You can get through the bot, right? Okay, so that's our technical analysis strategy, right? Okay. I'm going to show you some cool new ones that we just made, right? So this is one that I think will probably resonate with a lot of you guys. This is a really fun one that we actually just created, and I'm actually in the process of testing exactly how well it does, but it is definitely a very interesting strategy. This is not the right, okay, we're going to get out of this. So this is a strategy that we call Reddit sentiment. Okay? You get access to this strategy. If you join our classes, you get access to this strategy within our classes, right? We'll give this to you. You can use this, you can modify this. It's part of our library of different algorithms, right? Okay, so let me run this one here, okay? And let me explain to you kind of what it's doing, all right? So this strategy, what it does is it goes to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wall Street Bets. I feel like this has blown up in popularity recently. And of course, you guys, if you guys follow this sort of thing or know about this sort of thing, it's been influencing a lot of stocks lately, right? The increases in GameStop was because of this channel on Reddit. Basically, I think it's now, when I last checked, there's 1 million, but someone told me there's 4 million people on here. Everyone's discussing stocks, talking about, what to buy, what to sell, that sort of thing. And it actually has quite a bit of predictive power where, GameStop shot up a lot because of what happened on Wall Street Bets. There's some people that got going and basically went through the roof, right? GameStop, AMC was another one that's like a big, we call it meme stock or Wall Street Bet stock. And there's a few other ones that are happening more recently, like Wish, and a few other ones that maybe you guys have missed out on. But if you had this bot that we've built out here, you won't have to, right? So what it does is it automatically downloads the hot topics within Wall Street Bets, right? Downloads, you could specify exactly how much you want to download, right? And then it looks over all of those topics, reads all the comments, and uses some artificial intelligence, uses a bit of machine learning type stuff to figure out which stocks have the best sentiment, okay? And sentiment being whether people are saying they like them or not, right? I hate Wish, or I love Wish, or I think Wish is going to the moon, right? It's going to read all those comments and tell you which stocks are, first of all, talked about the most and which ones have the best sentiment. So we see here, Apple, for example, does not have a very good sentiment. It's widely talked about. People don't seem to like it on Wall Street Bets right now. Ones that they do like is this one here, 0.43 Wish. This one's been a hot topic for a while. If you look at the stock charts, by the way, it's gone up a lot. It's doubled over the past week or two, right? So that sentiment is high up there. We have GOEV. I don't even know what that is. This is talking about, people are talking about this on Wall Street Bets. But in either case, what it did is automatically read all that kind of stuff and then bought the top ones for you, right? So let's take a look here. Boom. These are all the top stocks on Wall Street Bets, right? It will automatically hold on to these and read actually these comments throughout the day and throughout the weeks. You could have this running in a server, running on your computer. It will automatically buy, in this case, the top 4 stocks that are talked about on Wall Street Bets. Not only the ones that are the most popular, but also the ones that people have the best sentiment for, that people say they really like. Look at that. We just bought them, and all of a sudden our money is already starting to go up. It's kind of fun to watch. Yeah, so this is a very interesting strategy. We're going to be actually testing this over the next little bit, and I'm thinking about putting some of our own funds money into this as well. All right, so look at that. We literally just bought it, and look at what happened to our stock price. Like it's literally within a minute, it's shooting up like crazy, right? And what this strategy will do is it'll just keep reading this all day long, right? And see, has it changed, right? If sentiments have changed, it will get rid of it, right? Or if sentiments have gone up for one, it will buy it, right? So automatically be doing this stuff all day long, right? Definitely really cool. It's amazing how fast it's going up. We have a question here. I have no coding experience. Will this program sync it to my trading platform and auto execute the trades? It depends what trading platform you use, right? So if you have no coding experience, I wouldn't be too worried about it. We have a lot of people in our classes with no coding experience, and they've all been able to get bots up and running. So I wouldn't be too surprised about that. I wouldn't be too worried about that, right? Whether it links to your trading platform, it depends on what trading platform you're using, right? We have 2 brokers that we work with right off the bat. So we use Alpaca, we use Interactive Brokers, and we're going to be adding in TradeStation soon. That's the next one that we're adding in. So if you use TradeStation, we'll probably have this built in within the next 2 months, right? So we are definitely going to be adding that in soon, right? For Thinkorswim, they don't have API access. They have API access to something called TD Ameritrade. They don't give you access to the Thinkorswim platform. It's kind of a little weird there. So we recommend, actually, if you want to do algo trading, TD Ameritrade is really not the best, right? They don't allow you to do paper trading, that sort of thing. And to be honest with you, it's really easy to switch brokers, right? To open up an account with Alpaca, honestly, I think you could do this within 5 minutes, right? It's really easy to do that. So we work with them. We work with Interactive Brokers. We're going to be adding in TradeStation very soon, and then we're going to keep adding in more and more as we go. So you definitely have a lot of options there. This is amazing. Look at this. We literally just bought this, and we're already making a bunch of money. It's the stock chart just shooting straight up. Changing brokers. Yeah, I agree with you. Right, changing brokers is not very difficult. It's really easy to do that. I really like TradeStation. They have great APIs, so we're going to be working with them soon. They also have crypto. They have futures. They have a lot of other stuff. So TradeStation's a really good one that we're going to be adding in. It's amazing, guys. I got to start running my own money in this strategy. We literally just built this 2 days ago, so we're still testing it out. But it's amazing. Look at this. Literally, in the course of this conversation, we've already made $300 or something like that. It's just in the course of our talking right now. Cool strategy, right? So that's our Reddit trading strategy. If you have no coding experience, really not that hard for you guys to get this up and running. It's part of our code library, so you can actually start off with this. You can modify it however you want. You don't have to be an expert programmer to do this stuff, guys. You don't have to be some whiz kid, because we give you a lot of these templates that you can start off with, right? Okay, cool. So that's the Reddit sentiment. I'm going to show you one more. That one actually is really cool. I gotta run that one. I'm going to do that after this. I'm going to run in the cloud and have it go for a few days, test it out for a couple of days, because that's pretty impressive how well it did that quickly. Like I said, we just built this one 2 days ago. Another one I want to show you guys, and this is one that we actually just put a bunch of our money into. I really like this strategy, and I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why through a back test, okay? So we teach you not only how to build the bots, but we also teach you how to do the research behind it, as to, how are you going to be picking a strategy? Is this a good strategy for you to do or not, right? How do you find these strategies? And this is one way they can figure out whether a strategy is good for you or not, okay? What I'm doing right now is I'm running a back test, okay? So it's a back test for a strategy that we call diversified leverage, okay? And basically what we're doing is we're going from 2012, right? We're doing this because some of these ticker symbols didn't exist until 2012. From 2012 until 2021, so 9 years, okay? And we're seeing how would our strategy have done over the past 9 years? What kind of results would we have gotten, right? So the strategy in particular, the one that we're doing, is called this diversified leverage strategy, okay? And basically what it is this is modern portfolio theory, right? If you talk to someone like a Ray Dalio, or you talk to some of the most prominent investors in the world, they'll tell you diversify well. And the reason why you diversify well is because you want to make sure that you reduce your risk. If you reduce your risk, you can take on more, you can actually take on more risk and make more money, right? Essentially. So what this is we have a bunch of different ticker symbols we're in here. We're in the leveraged NASDAQ, so TQQQ, right? So it's the triple NASDAQ, right? So 3x the returns of the NASDAQ. If you look at the stock chart on this thing, it's wild. It's up 1,600% in 2 years or something like that. It's crazy, right? But of course, also has its risks. There's a downside as well, right? So we want to protect against that. So we have 20% of our money into that, 10% of our money into UPRO, which is the leveraged S&P 500, 3x leveraged. Then we have 10% of our money into UDOW, which is a leveraged Dow Jones. Then we have 10% of our money in emerging markets, right? Leveraged emerging markets, right? 35% of our money in leveraged treasury bonds. So now we diversify, right? So we have in total 50% of our money in stocks, right? In leveraged stocks, right? And diversified around the world a little bit, right? And then we have the rest of our money in something to counterbalance that, right? To reduce our risks, to give us some good hedging and to improve our returns without taking on too much risk, right? So we do that by having leveraged treasury bonds. So usually when stocks fall, treasuries go up and vice versa. So they're a really good hedge to have in a portfolio. We also have Barclays VIX, right? This is an interesting one. Basically, you lose money regularly, but when things fall apart, if like the stock market crashes, it'll go like up 5x. You make 500% of your money in like a day, right? And that's a really good hedge because if things fall, you want to be able to protect yourself, right? And we also have 5% of our money in gold. So this is one that actually I've put some of our money into, right? Not all, but some good chunk of our money into the strategy. And I'll tell you why, right? When we look at the back test, what we can see here is, look at this. So this strategy over that same time period, right? Over this 2012 to 2021, that 9 years there. So January 1st, 2012 to January 1st, 2021, right? So 9 years. Okay? Over that time period, the S&P 500 was up 17.5%, which is nice, right? If you were in this strategy, you would have made 28.9%. You would have almost doubled the stock market's returns, okay? Which is amazing, right? Like obviously that's, if you guys do the math behind this, this is the difference between when you retire, you could retire with $1 million versus 10 million, right? That's like the difference, right? Like it's a very, very large difference when you have double the stock market's returns. Huge, huge payouts. This could be worth $9 million to you in the future. I mean, this kind of differential, right? But okay, so it's great to have a higher returns. That's awesome, right? But we're not just talking about higher returns here. We're talking about higher returns while taking on the same amount or less risk. Okay? So over that same time period, so we doubled the stock market's returns, but we also had only a little bit of increase in our volatility. It's not too much more volatile, meaning this up and down thing. And our max drawdown is almost exactly the same, right? So meaning from the peak to the bottom, right? This is in last year, right? March, 2020, stock market fell 30%. From the very top to the very bottom, it fell 33%. Okay? If you were invested in this strategy, you would have also only lost about 33% at the same time period. So we have the same risk as the stock market, but we're making double the returns. That to me sounds incredibly impressive, right? Which is why we're putting some of our money into this, right? We diversify among different strategies. We don't put everything into one, but this was one when we're looking at 30% a year returns, sounds very appealing to me, right? So this one went ahead. When we go in here, you could see it automatically bought all these things for us, right? All the different ones. This would be a pain, by the way, to do on your own. And the key is that it doesn't just buy these, it rebalances. And that's the key here, right? Because you'll have days like, for example, TQQQ will shoot up, in a week's time, will shoot up 100% or something like that. When it shoots up 100%, you want to rebalance your portfolio and put money somewhere else. And that's how you actually get the safety along with the very good gains, right? It's intelligent portfolio construction, and that's how you end up making all the money. That's why having like a robot that'll automatically look at the stuff and rebalance for you is really important, because that's how you're actually going to end up with these returns. You can't just go and buy them and that's it, right? You actually have to be rebalancing and trading them on a regular basis, right? So I very much like this strategy as well. We have our own money, like I said, in this as well, and so far we've been doing, we've been making good money. So I'm happy with it so far. All right, cool. All right, so that's a couple of our strategies. We showed you everything from our day trading, to trading off of Reddit, to building intelligent portfolios. I have a few more that I can show you guys. We have a whole library, like I said. There's tons of different things. We have things where we trade off of like macroeconomic things, where we use like the debt, where the Fed Reserve, that they take on debt. We trade off of that. We're building out a bunch of options trading strategies as well. Which we're going to have a separate webinar to kind of explain a bunch of that stuff, where, you can trade volatility and all that sort of thing. We have lots and lots of different strategies, and we just keep growing more and more of them. So if you guys join our courses, not only are we going to teach you how to do this stuff, we're going to give you access to that big library. So you'll be able to either use it right out of the box, or, modify it to do whatever you want it to do. You'll have access to that sort of stuff. All right. Cool. So that's the demo.
Cool. Awesome, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. All right. That was a couple of our strategies. We've actually added a lot more strategies to our mix since then. And like I said earlier, we're actually we're putting together a website where you'll be able to watch our strategies trade live. And one day you'll be able to invest in them as well. Although we're keeping it a closed beta at first, just to make sure we get it all right. But yeah, some of our strategies that we have up there are like really kicking ass. Excuse my language, but you'll be able to actually see them trade live in a couple weeks. I'll have that website up, and you guys can actually watch them. All right. And of course, if you join our class, you get access to all that code, and you'll be able to use them yourselves if you want, right? Or modify them and turn them into whatever you need to, right? Cool. So let's talk about the full course, right? So we had a nice overview of kind of everything to do with algorithmic trading, right? But of course, we have an entire class dedicated to this. All right. So here's our class. I'm going to put this link inside, inside of the chat here, right? So you guys can follow along. But here's our full algorithmic trading course. It is a 12-week long course where we cover all the stuff A to Z. Basically, you'll learn how to code at the very beginning, right? So if you don't know how to code, we'll teach you from the very start. We'll teach you how to do data science. We'll teach you how to download financial data, and then we'll teach you how to back test and trade these trading algorithms. We'll spend a lot of time on that. You'll see all sorts of different types of algorithms that are out there. You'll get lots of code they can use right out of the box and be able to get really good at this stuff, right? So if you want to go through this course page here, we talk a little bit about the outcomes they get. Here's our curriculum. So as I said, it's 12 weeks long. We divide that up into 3 parts. Part 1 is data science fundamentals. So week by week, first week, we'll do basically an introduction to the course. We'll make sure you have all the materials you need, any kind of resources that you need. We'll talk about there. You'll set up your system, make sure that you have everything installed on your computer correctly. And then we'll also do introductions so you get to know other people in the class. There's a lot of really good students that you can learn from or work together with. I've seen a lot of students in the past. They've built projects together. There's a lot of talk of creating hedge funds together. People that have money, people that have better programming skills with less programming skills but better finance, right? There's a lot of people that work together and have built some very, very cool stuff going through there. So you'll get those introductions. You'll get to know other people in the class. Then week 2 is our Python refresher. We'll basically cover most of the Python language in about a day. It's going to be pretty fast, but very concise. You don't need to be an expert in programming. That's actually not the hard part of making algorithms. You don't have to be that great at programming. You just need to know enough. It's being able to discover the strategies. That's like the interesting part. All right, so we'll cover Python, but we'll cover specifically the types of Python that you need to know. We're going to cut the nonsense, so you don't have to focus on things and get very good at things that are not going to help you on this path. All right. Then we're going to go week 3. We're going to talk about pandas. Pandas is basically like Excel on steroids, right? It's the way that you do data science inside of Python. It's probably the most popular data science library in the world, right? And it's able to download data, manipulate it, do all sorts of calculations, graph it out, all that kind of really cool stuff you can do with pandas. And it's very, very useful, of course, when you're trading to be able to download, manipulate, analyze data, right? So I'll show you how to work with pandas in week 3. And then in week 4, we'll show you how to take all that stuff in pandas and how to apply it to the world of finance, right? So loading CSV files, graphing things out, calculating returns, all that kind of stuff. All right, so that's week 4. Right, then we'll go on to part 2 of the class, which is, it's actually changed a bit since we first started this. This has been moved around a little bit. But basically within this week 1 of part 2, you will learn how to build a bot, right? So we'll get a bot set up on your computer. We'll show you kind of how all this stuff works. The details of like how you place a trade and get data and all that kind of stuff. And we'll actually place some trades for you. So most likely by this time, you will have trades being placed through a bot. And now from then on, it's really our job to make these bots better and get them to do things that are profitable, right? So we'll spend most of part two doing that. We'll talk about how to back test your strategies, right? We'll talk about how to debug them, make sure that they're working properly. And then we're going to go through lots and lots and lots of examples of different bots. You're going to see everything from bots that are kind of just made to show you what's going on, right? To kind of, get you to learn a little bit about bot making. Everything from that until bots that I think actually could be quite profitable and can make you quite a bit of money. And we'll showcase a little bit of everything, right? So you'll go through lots of those different strategies. You learn how to back test. We'll make sure that you get all set up and that you're actually trading with that, right? And then part three was basically teaching you how to, or basically more of that, right? We're going to go through a lot of different examples of bots. We're going to show you our Reddit bot. We're going to show you our Discord bot. We're going to show you our momentum bots or rebalancing bots. You're going to see lots and lots of examples of different bots. And actually one of the days we're going to take where you guys will basically be saying, I want to have this kind of strategy built, and I'll be building the strategy on the fly. So that way you kind of see how to do this whole process from scratch. And also if you have a bot in mind, we can actually build it in class while we're going through all this stuff, right? So that'll be weeks 1, 2, 3. And then week 4 is a special class. We focus on machine learning, which is basically using artificial intelligence for trading. We'll show you how to get that all set up and how to get a machine learning bot working for you, all right? So by the end of that, you will have gone through how to code in Python, getting your computer set up, how to do data science for finance, how to backtest your strategies, how to trade with different brokers, how to trade with interactive brokers, with Alpaca, with a few different brokerages out there, including crypto brokerages. And then we'll show you lots and lots of examples of different bots and show you how to build them, how to change them to be your own, if that's what you want to do, or how to just run them and make money off them, right? So by the end of this, my guess is you'll probably have your own bot running by the 5th week. And then by the end of it, you should have quite a few different bots that you're able to run. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the curriculum. Let's talk about the different plans for this course. There's 3 different plans: our self-directed, our live class, and our project help plan. Okay? They all build on each other, so they all have, so everything in self-directed is in live classes as well, and then everything in live classes is in project help tutoring, so they keep building. Our most popular are definitely our live and our project help. Lately, project help has become extremely popular. For some reason, people are really opting for that a lot lately. But to describe each one of them, so our self-directed plan is kind of our simplest. You get access to our video recordings, you get access to our code, and you get access to our community. So you can basically watch these videos at your own pace if you want to do that, and basically, learn from the recordings. You also get some help as well. So if you want to get on one-on-one calls, or if you want to get some chat support, you're able to get that as well with the self-directed plan. Okay. You also get access to our community, which is very valuable. You saw on in our Discord channel, there's quite a bit going on. But then also we have our discussion hour, which happens every Tuesday. People talk about the different bots that they have and share opinions on things. Can really help each other out with getting bots built and what works, what doesn't work. And then we also have a bunch more stuff that we're going to be adding to our community as well soon. All right, so you get access to all of that with self-directed. With the live classes, you get all of that, right? Plus, you get to be joining classes live, right? So it's kind of like what we're doing right now, where you guys can type out questions, except you'll be able to turn on your audio and your video if you want to do that. You can share your screen. So you'll be going through the class live, right? If you have some questions when I'm teaching this class, if you have any questions throughout, we can stop and we can answer those questions for you, right? So it's much easier for you to learn that way. It's much more interactive. If you're stuck somewhere, we can share screens, get you unstuck, make sure your things are set up, or whatever bugs you're having, we can fix them for you. And you also get a lot of support, a lot of one-on-one support. So people in our live classes, I meet with some people almost on a weekly basis to make sure that things are going well with them. If they have any questions, if they have any bots that they need help with, we can get you all that help with our live classes, right? Then there's our project help and tutoring plan, which is very quickly becoming our most popular plan. And this is basically everything from self-directed, everything from live. And by the way, live classes, you could retake them as many times as you want. So let's say the next one that starts is in December. If for whatever reason you want to take it again, whether that's, something happened, you got a new job. A lot of people tend to get new jobs when they go through our classes, or you moved or whatever, life gets in the way. You could always retake the class as many times as you want. All right, so that's our live class. Our project help builds on top of that. So you get access to all of our videos, you get access to our community, you get access to live classes. And on top of that, you also get access to our software developers, right? So if you want us to either build a bot for you, right, which a lot of people opt for, sometimes we'll build a bot for them before the class so that when they get into the class, they have something to start off with, and the class are learning how to modify it and how to improve it from there. Or we could build that initial bot for you, or maybe you go through the class and you start building your own bot, but you get stuck somewhere. We can help you build out that portion for you. You get access to our software team. You get 10 hours of their time. So basically anything that you need help built, we could actually do that for you. Or if you don't want to spend that 10 hours on software development, you could have it spent on more one-on-one support. We can do a lot of things like pair programming and things like that to make sure that you really get these things done in a timely manner and working properly for you. We've been doing this stuff for a long time. So if you need any help, it's really between myself and our other instructors and our software developers, we can really help you build out these bots and get you to where you need to be. All right, so project help, you get those extra development hours and extra one-on-one time. All right. Cool. So here are the plans again with all the prices. By the way, these prices are going up next week. So if you guys want to save some money, make sure that you sign up within the next week, because I believe on Monday we're increasing everything by, I think, a little over 10%. So definitely going to be quite a bit more expensive by next week. So now's the time to save. Our self-directed class is about $1,700. That again includes, lifetime access to the video library, lifetime access to code. You get access to our community. You get instructor support. You get one-on-one times. You get to be part of our discussion hour. You get all of that with our self-directed plan. You could also pay over a 3 or 5 month period if that makes more sense for you as well. Right. Our live classes are around $4,000. Right. Again, also have 3 and 5 month payment plans if you need to do that. Right. And then that includes everything from self-directed. So all that stuff, the video library, the code library, all that stuff. Then you also get to partake in the 12-week live classes. These live classes are fantastic, by the way. I find that the people that go through our live classes, they tend to do a lot better. Not only because if you have any questions, we get to alleviate those questions for you. You get a lot more support, one-on-one support. But also I find that the people that take the live classes, it kind of pushes them to show up and actually get the work done. There's assignments and things that are due. So it really gets you on pace and learning this stuff a lot better, right? This is kind of like the difference between watching YouTube videos versus showing up live to a class. Like there's a lot that you get from it, right? You also get 6 hours of dedicated Q&A. You get access to all the future videos and code. So again, if you ever want to retake the class, if you ever want to watch classes in the future, 3 years from now, where technology is going to be a lot better, you'll get access to that. You can retake it if you want in 3 years from now. You get lifetime access to this stuff. You also get help with 2 personal projects. You'll get to know your classmates. We'll do interview prep or resume help if you need that as well, right? And you get unlimited email and chat Q&A, right? So that's for our live classes. Then our project help and tutoring plan, it's about $5,800, right? This is our premium plan. Honestly, a lot of people are opting for this lately. I feel like we're getting much more of these people buying this rather than anything else lately. And that's basically because you get everything from self-directed, you get everything from live, you get to be part of those live classes, you get a lot of one-on-one help. And on top of that, you also get this 10 hours of video or phone sessions where we can help you one-on-one, we can pair a program with you, or we just get our software development team to build something for you and give it to you so that you could use that in the class so that you get a head start, or you get some things done that maybe you are finding difficult. We can actually build all that stuff for you, right? So you really get a lot of help and support with the project help and tutoring plan, right? And again, all of them, they have 3 and 5 month payment plans available if that's what you choose to do, right? Okay. When you scroll down here, you'll notice we also have a guarantee, by the way. If you can't build a bot before the end of this class, I've never seen it happen. But if for some reason you're having difficulty with building a bot, assuming you actually show up to class, we'll give you all your money back plus an extra $600 for your time, right? So again, if you can't get a bot that actually places trades, I've never seen it happen. I've seen everyone that has ever gone through our classes has always been able to place trades and actually get bots running. But if for some reason you're not able to get this done, not only will we give your money back, but we'll also give you an extra $600 for your time, right? So definitely very, very low risk when you're taking this class. And then we have upcoming live classes. We have another class coming up very soon. So this class starts December 11th. So that is on a Sunday, right? This class takes place every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. It goes for 12 weeks long, starting December 11th. We're going to take holiday breaks. So around the Christmas break and New Year's, we'll take those weeks off, right? So don't feel like, you have holiday plans or whatever. We're going to take that off so you can go and travel or whatever you need to do. We will take 2 weeks off for this class during the holiday, right? But other than that, it's 12 weeks long and takes place every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern or 1 p.m. Pacific, right? Classes usually are around 2 hours every week. Sometimes it goes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter, depending on the class specifically. And it's all live over Zoom, right? So you get to attend from pretty much anywhere in the world, right? There's also an early bird special on this class. So you can actually save a lot of money if you sign up in the next few days. So this is an extra 20% off that you'll get if you sign up by November 11th, right? So in other words, I think that's on Friday. If you sign up before Friday, not only are you going to save 20%, but you're also not going to have to pay the higher prices when we raise prices next week. So this is actually a really good opportunity to buy this stuff right now because you will save quite a bit of money because not only are you not going to get the 20%, but prices are going up by Monday. So definitely a good way to save by signing up as soon as possible or before Friday specifically. All right, so that's our December class. If you can't make our December class, then we also have another one starting in February. Specifically, February 23rd is the start of the next class. That one is also 12 weeks long. And that one, instead of on Sundays, takes place on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern or 5 p.m. Pacific. All right, and that one also has an early bird special, although this early bird special goes on for a bit longer until January 16th because the class doesn't start until February. All right, so 2 options there if you want to join our live classes coming up, one on Sunday, one on Thursday. All right. Okay, we also cover 2 projects throughout this course. Project 1 is analyzing your investment strategies. We'll do a lot of data science and analyze your investment strategies, back test them, make sure that they're actually things that make sense. And then project 2 is building a live trading bot. We'll make sure you have a live bot that's actually placing trades for you and hopefully making you some very good money by the end of the class. All right. Here's some more information about myself if you want. I don't have my LinkedIn here, but you could search me on LinkedIn. There aren't really many people with my name. If you're interested in kind of my background, you could do that as well. But again, I already spoke about this earlier today. Been coding for over 20 years, many different programming languages, worked on Wall Street for a period of time, and obviously CEO of Lumi Wealth right now. Right. We also have testimonials on here. We only have 3 testimonials here, but if you go to our YouTube, you can see a lot more of them. So again, it was youtube.com/c/Lumi Wealth. We have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of testimonials here, right? So you can go on our testimonials, you could read through a bunch of them, right? If you click on, or I guess play all, right? You'll be able to walk through and see a bunch of our testimonials here. We also have a bunch more on our testimonials page. If you go to more testimonials, you can see a bunch more there as well. So just in case, if you're interested in seeing what our past students have done, what kind of things that they've built and what they thought about the classes. You could listen to them speak directly in this case. All right. Cool. All right. So that's about it. All right. Any questions that you guys have for me? I know you guys are writing some questions throughout, but I'll give you guys a little bit of time right now as well to answer some questions. I'm actually very excited. We're getting our new website up very soon. So I can't wait to have that up so that you guys can actually see our algorithms trading live. I have a lot of people asking questions like, how have your algorithms done and whatnot. Pretty soon we'll actually have them up on a website and you'll be able to watch them and see exactly how they've done. Day by day, minute by minute, you'll be able to see the results there. Cool. So I'll give you guys a little bit of time to type out some questions. So again, class is starting soon, right? Class starts in a couple of weeks, actually about a month from now, almost exactly a month. Price is going up soon, so definitely a good time to save some money. Yeah, I'll give you guys a little bit more time to write out your questions. If you have any other questions afterwards, by the way, you can reach me on Discord. I'm usually very present on Discord, so if you have some questions there, I'll respond to you probably the fastest through Discord. You can also email me, rob@lumiwealth.com, if you have any other questions there as well. I see Habib right here. Thank you for the webinar. Thank you for your time. I'll get in touch with you guys. Sounds great. Perfect. Hopefully see you in our class coming up soon. All right. Okay. Well, I think that's probably enough time for you guys to have typed out questions. So I'm assuming that you don't have any right now. But again, if you want to get in touch with me, you have my email there, rob@lumiwealth.com, or you can find me on Discord, or you probably get emails from me as well. You could always just reply to those emails and let you know whatever questions you have. I can answer those for you as well. All right. Thank you. All right, guys. Hope you have a good night. And it was a pleasure having you guys here. And I will hopefully see you guys in class starting next week. All right. Have a good night, guys.